All right. We got round 12. We got Sen with the Regis and Alberto with a very turbo Lost Box build. Very, very turbo Lost Box build. So we do have Sen going first. I believe Alberto called it turn 1 Mirage Gate Lost Box. So it's a Kyogre build that also plays Raikou, and it also plays Dragonite V. It does not play Cramorant, and the other attackers are 2 Sableyes. So the point of the deck is to just mill through your deck. It plays like 8 switch cards. So you're trying to like go through your deck as fast as possible, or about that. Turn 1 Mirage Gate, potentially, and just kind of take over the game from there. So I'm sure Alberto would be fine with going like turn 1 Raikou in this game. It would be reasonable, you know, for Sen to have like the turn 2 double Aurora energy. Sen going first here, using the capture energy. It does have a Lecky and a Rock prized. And this matchup for Sen's going to be pretty straightforward. Just, you know, attack with Regis and go from there. Yeah, the plan will be to attack with Regis over and over again. Try and use Marnie. Try and find Path to the Peak. Get good Lecky off the rip. I actually don't like this. You want to go... Actually, I didn't see a bad Lecky in the deck from Sen, but they do play the... it's possible they don't play a bad Lecky, to be honest. But they probably do. They're trying to figure out what to Ultra Ball here. I would almost keep the capture, because then you could just attack with Gigas next turn, to be honest. If you just keep the capture here, there's a good chance you can just attack with Gigas. Possibly. You do want to thin out the hand pretty aggressively here, though, because you don't actually have a draw supporter. So actually, to be honest, the more that I'm thinking about it, I would probably give up both energies, attach Choice Belt, net reset the Lecky, and then draw 4 cards. Because you want to be aggressive, you want to get the first prize card, you want to put the pressure on. You also want to find a path turn 1 here as well from Sen. Finding a path turn 1 is like super, super good. So I would actually like fully play out that hand from Sen. So Ultra Ball away. I guess you keep the Ordinary Rod as the last card. Maybe you keep the capture over the Ordinary Rod. That'd be like reasonable. But I'd burn the net. Ultra Ball away probably the Rod and the Twin. Ultra Ball away, Rod, Twin, burn the net, hold the capture. See, only drawing 1 here is so bad. Like, this is actually so bad from Sen. You don't have anything. It's not like you have a research in hand. From Sen here, it's not like you have a research in hand. It's like, I like my options. I have a Marnie for next turn. I'd rather put these cards back on the bottom of the deck. Sen has nothing. Sen has a Rod, a capture, and a scoop up net. And could burn the net, could have attached the Choice Belt, burned one of the other cards that can't move out of the hand with the Ultra Ball, and then draw 3 cards. Instead, we're deciding to draw 1 card. And then who knows, next turn we could possibly draw another 3 cards, but now we're down -2 cards. Like, we're seeing -2 cards, guaranteed. Sen is seeing -2 cards, guaranteed. So it's a really bad play here from Sen, this sequence here, to settle for drawing 1 card. It's really bad. Really, really, really bad. Could have drawn 3, chose to draw 1, -2, over to Alberto. Let's see if Alberto punishes with an aggressive start. I would like to see Alberto pull off a turn 1 Raikou, to be honest. Turn 1 Raikou, I guess turn 1 Dragonite's better, actually, though, to be honest. So turn 1 Dragonite. Has the Seal Stone, has the VIP Pass, has the Pokestop, has double Scoop Up Net, so it's already looking really, really good for Alberto. You might want to start with Greninja here, though, because there's some other Pokemon you want. So I think I would start with the Greninja here. I also don't like the good Lecky take from Sen. I think you just go, well, maybe you want to force the Manaphy from Alberto first and then go into bad Lecky. I guess that's fine. Yeah, Greninja first, I like it. We want to find more Comfeys, or just Pokemon in general. Got a Comfey, that's sick. Now the Battle VIP Pass comes out, and I think we'll see Alberto go for the Dragonite here. Doing a little prize checking. The Kyogre's prize, the Raikou's prize, nothing too big. And on Sen's side, either nothing really too big prized for Sen. Yeah, and just past the just drawing more cards, like getting Path to, like a card that Sen wants to see turn 1 here is Path to the Peak. Especially because like you know that Alberto's playing a Greninja deck. Like, being able to use Greninja turn 1 or not being able to use Greninja turn 1, there's a pretty big difference. So, I'm definitely not a huge fan of that from Sen. Yeah, that sequence there was pretty poor. No energy prize here for Alberto. Probably going to grab Comfey plus Dragonite, I would assume. Like I said, the Raikou is also seems like a pretty solid option turn 1. Because, like, even though Raikou can get 1-hit KO'd, there was no energy in the discard, no Auroras in the discard pile turn 1 from Sen. So the Raikou is also a little bit easier to set up as well. You probably prefer to attack with Dragonite if you can get a turn 1, but a little bit easier to pull it off with the Raikou. See what else Alberto can pull off here. We're going to get going here. Got the net on the Greninja, so then we can get into... Okay, there we go. Net on Greninja. Get into the Comfy. Here comes Comfy number 1. How good is it? Lightning to the discard pile. Not sure what Alberto took. Lightning's pretty good here. Energy's pretty good here, though. You need to set up your Dragonite, even using Greninja again. There's a water in the hand, though. Here we go, Comfy again. Minion bites the dust. That would be an out to Colress, so that makes me think, yep, there's probably a Colress on that take here. The gate's in the hand. I think there was a lightning in the hand as well. Escape rope. So you probably want escape rope and gate. Sableye, not as important. So escape rope, gate, and maybe what that other card is. Yeah, gets rid of the lightning and the Sableye. That's what I would do too. Goodbye. And I don't know what that third card was though, but they eyed up that one first. It was a switch card. Okay, so yeah, more switch cards equals more Comfies equals better pizza. So we got 4 in the Lost Zone now. We need to find 3 more here for Alberto. Has Pokestop in the hand as well, and can still draw cards with Greninja, but doesn't want to really use, and goes into the Pokestop next. Seems fine to me. Oh, does play Vacuum. So we're basically there for Alberto. I think Alberto's basically, well, Alberto is there. Alberto is there. So we've done it. You definitely want to KO the Drago, though. If you had to pick a Reggie to KO here as Alberto, it would be Drago. Doesn't love the, apparently does not love the choices on this list, this Comfy here, though. Let's see what happens. Water versus, what was the take? I want to know what the take is. I can't see what the take is. Heavy Ball. So took the Heavy Ball. Does have the Kyogre prize. And the Kyogre's in the last 2 prize cards. So definitely need to get that out of there. But yeah, has the Vacuum. So now we can see the Vac. Lost Zone something. Get rid of your own Stadium. That's 7. Then we hit him with the... then you hit him with the Mirage Gate. Gets rid of the Escape Rope. Gets rid of that. There we go. 7 in the Lost Zone. And here we go. Here comes the gate, and has the water in hand for the attachment. Hasn't attached it, and has the switch card. So we'll be able to take out the active Regidrago from Sen. There we go. There's 2. Water in hand. That's 7. And the switch card. These Comfies are going to start to get a little beat up by the Dragonite, but there's still a couple scoop up sets left for Alberto, I believe. There it is. Could play the Heavy Ball this turn as well. I don't see a reason not to. I'm actually curious why Alberto wouldn't play the Heavy Ball this turn. You can confirm all 6 prize cards and probably have more outs of the Kyogre. There's Manaphy and Greninja back to the bench as well. Great sequencing so far as well from Alberto. Has the Seal Stone as well to just chill. Goes for the swing. Doesn't play the Heavy Ball. I'm not sure I agree with that. Because you're going to have more outs to the Kyogre. Like, Heavy Ball, you know you prized. You don't ever want to put Raikou in play. Once the Dragonite goes down, you don't want to put Raikou in play. You know Kyogre's prized, and is the only thing you want off of the Heavy Ball. So if you have the Kyogre in the deck, Kyogre's equal to Heavy Ball. I guess that's not 100% true, because you can Pokestop later into Heavy Ball, because Alberto does play 2 Pokestop to then get the Kyogre, but then all of your Quick Balls can't find Kyogre, and you have more Quick Balls than you have Pokestops, and Pokestop can find Quick Ball, which could find Kyogre. So yeah, a mistake from Alberto to not use the Heavy Ball there. And even has a Quick Ball in hand. And if they know there's 2 Quick Ball prize, and they know as they draw prize cards, they'll draw Quick Balls, which means more outs to Kyogre. So should have played the Heavy Ball. I think that's the only mistake there from Alberto. But gets a knockout. Capture Energy coming in from Sen. And then we'll probably have to just go with a Regigate. I don't know if they have another... we'll see if they have another... Or if they top deck the Draw Supporter. Nope. No Draw Supporter top deck. So capture out a Drago. And then... Gonna go ahead and Regigate. And this is... I'm actually curious. I would like to see the next 2 cards from Sen's deck. I want to see like the top 2 cards of Sen's deck. Because they could have drawn +2 cards. I always want to know if it actually is... if it is the card. Appreciate the 36 months there, Fred. Regigate gets the ice. So we're getting close for Sen to be able to pull off an attack with the Gigas. But still a little ways away. Yeah, the Gigas is getting close. And now, yeah, Alberto has to be a little bit careful of their own bench here, to be honest. Really nothing in the hand here for Alberto. So I think it's going to be... Hopefully the Heavy Ball comes down now. Maybe. There's the V-Star power. Probably should go to Colress and just keep going through the deck here. We'll see what they grab, though. I'm definitely curious to find out what they get. I would assume it's just going to be a Colress and just keep going a little bit deeper, start setting up. And also against Reggie decks right now, it's pretty reliable to assume that the Reggie players don't have... it's pretty reliable to assume that the Reggie decks don't have any boss anymore. I feel like no one plays boss anymore. Not 100%, but I feel like it's pretty close to no boss. So I don't hate, like, once again, I want to see the heavy ball get played from Alberto. And I would actually like to see Alberto probably bench the Kyogre. I guess you could bench the Sableye instead, though. I wouldn't hate to see Sableye hit the bench here instead of the Kyogre. But I would like to see the heavy ball get played. I'm still team heavy ball, team play heavy ball, I think, for sure. But Alberto's like a fan of keeping it around. I guess there is the value of keeping it around is that it's more efficient than quick ball to get the Kyogre out of your prize cards late game, I guess. But I think you may as well just play it now. Figure out your prize cards. I would even, like I said, you could even put it on the bench here. I probably would put this. I like the Sableye down there now, especially with the Good Lucky in play. Especially with Good Lucky in play here from Sen, it doesn't give Sableye a target to get a prize card off of. So here we go. Ultra Ball. Aurora plus Gigas gets the rock. Now needs to find the steal here from Sen. We'll be able to draw a couple cards off of this. Should recover the steal here from Sen. The steal and the Drago should be the two recoveries, I think. Unless you plan to attack with Gigas, then I could see the argument for Gigas steal. You definitely recover steal. The question is, what other one do you recover? And there could be an argument to not recover any other to increase your odds of seeing the steal, but I think that's probably incorrect in the, like, overall that's going to hurt your chance to win the game, because you need more than just, you need more Regis. So there's a shuffle up, and I would like to see the net. I would like to see the net get played here from Sen and burn the card to draw the extra card, because I don't think we need the net for anything. I don't know why we're saving the net. Did get the research though, and now could net into the Gigas, and then the Gigas is probably the best attacker here. Actually, that's not true. Regis is the best attacker here. I take that back. Regis is the best attacker here for Sen. Has the speed and is going to go with it. To draw two. I don't know if I like it, though, because now you can't play the Aurora energy. But it's just settling for the Gigas attack. I don't know if I like that. Letting Dragonite attack one more time seems really, really bad here from Sen. You almost want the Giganite, the Dragonite. I tried to say Gigas and Dragonite in the same at the same time there. You almost want the Dragonite to just attack twice more from Alberto, because then it just like wipes his bench. The Aurora is in the discard pile. There is a net in hand, so actually Sen could attack with Regis here. Yeah, Sen could actually get the attack off with Regis here, which you want to go for. You want to like force Alberto to like play the game more, like by going and getting go get like more stuff. So I would like to actually see that happen. I would like to see Alberto or Sen go into the Regis here and actually attack with Regis, because then the Dragonite can't attack next turn. So then you force Alberto to have switch cards or something. And if they don't, maybe you actually can get into a position where you can actually get ahead here as Sen. We'll see though. Might just settle for the Gigas play. Setting up all the energy here. So I think plans to use the scoop up net on the Gigas. So we're going to see the first three come down here. Like I said, Regis is the optimal target. Has the path as well, which is nice to see. And there we go. Load up on the Regis. All right. So far, it's been pretty clean from Sen after kind of that poor sequence off the rip from Sen. Like the first sequence from Sen was pretty poor on that first turn. But now it's getting, Sen's cleaning it up a little bit. Has the path in hand. Has these 3 energy for the Gigas. I like this. Now we're feeling pretty good here. And there we go. 100 damage to Dragonite. And don't forget the path. All right, we're good. 100 damage. Can't attack next turn. Does Alberto have the switch cards? Let's find out. A little bit of a check here from Alberto. He's a speed and a cap, checking the net count as well. I mean, I think we're just attacking it with Dragonite here as Alberto, if it's possible. Did top deck an escape rope. I don't know. They have a pretty big hand. I don't know if they needed that, but they did top deck an escape rope. Originally in thought. We could have went into Regis originally, though, and saved a net. Well, there wasn't 2 Aurora in the discard pile before they researched. So they netted before they researched, and then they check and choose away in Aurora. So they wouldn't have guaranteed being able to do the Regis. They didn't have double Aurora in the discard pile yet. But I still think they maybe should have net into Regis initially anyways, and just like hope they drew into the Aurora to force that play, to be honest. So I'm still not against that play, to be honest. Escape route from Alberto. Sends up the Lecky, which I do like. This does take away the possibility of Sableye drawing this as a prize card later, but actually now I think Alberto might as well use Sableye this turn. I think Alberto should probably just attack with Sableye this turn. I don't see a reason not to here from Alberto. We'll see what Alberto chooses to do, but I think you might as well, to be honest. Cleaning up some of this Dragonite damage that's been built up. It probably wouldn't have mattered anyways, I don't think, in this scenario, or the way this matchup is playing, but it could have. It could have definitely mattered. Another Comfey going down. I think has a switch card in hand to heal up this Comfey a little bit. Does get rid of a Mirage Gate for the Psychic Energy. So I think the Sableye will be happening here. I think there's like 11 in the Lost Zone right now for Alberto. So Sableye going to be taking the knockout on this Lucky. I like this play from Alberto. I still think I want to see the Heavy Ball get played now for sure because you have the bench space. So I would like to see Alberto go Heavy Ball for Kyogre, bench Kyogre. I want to see Kyogre hit the bench. Like, you can bench Kyogre so aggressively in this matchup, because it just doesn't matter. Like, they maybe play one boss, and they have to find it, and even if they boss it, you have, like, rods, and that means they're not knocking out your attacker. So, I'm begging Alberto to play the Heavy Ball now. I'm begging Alberto to play the Heavy Ball. That's all I want. That's all I want. And bench the Kyogre as well. No! I mean, I don't hate the second Comfey down. It depends how many switch card Alberto has left. I just want Kyogre to get into play here. I really just want the Heavy Ball to be played. Yeah, I bench Kyogre like almost as soon as I have a bench space available in this matchup. I'm always benching Kyogre like immediately. Another thing about this matchup actually that goes in favor of Sen based on Alberto's list is Alberto does not play any Guru. So the Marnies from Sen in the early game specifically hit a little bit harder. He might just be ignoring Kyogre this game since he's so far ahead, but there's no reason to ignore it, right? You may as well have it as an option. That makes no sense. I do think Alberto's in a very good spot. But I still feel like benching Kyogre there makes the most sense. I'm still a bench Kyogre fan there now, this turn. See, Sen doesn't hesitate with that Heavy Ball. I like Sen. Sen just plays the Heavy Ball. I like Sen with this one. I like Sen. I like how Sen plays Heavy Ball. See Heavy Ball, play Heavy Ball. Now, that's not always correct. Sometimes you actually do want to save Heavy Ball, because if it's your only out to find the Pokemon, then having it be an item instead of a Pokemon sometimes is a little bit better with stuff like Pokestop. But yeah, no bad Lecky here either for Sen. So I don't want Sen to actually bench the Lecky this turn unless Sen really wants to use Regigigas. But yeah, I like this better from Sen because you want to ideally use, and has the cape now too, so could actually put the cape on the good Lecky at this point. So I think from Alberto, we'll probably see the attack with Dragonite. Yeah, I can't imagine we're not using the attack with Dragonite here. We'll see though. Culver's top deck, that's pretty good. So Alberto's going to pretty much completely thin out the deck at this point. There's not much left. Net's good. Double, there's two. Okay, there's two. That's a lot. 2 4 Seal Stones. This really is an aggressive build of Lost Box. Very cool though. Gets rid of an escape rope. Keeps the switch cart. Love to see it. Has a lot of options in hand. Could use another Comfey if they really want to. I'm sure he probably wants to. Actually, I don't know what you want to attack with here as Alberto. What are you going down? You're going down to 2 prize cards. Going down to 2 prize cards. You know what draws 2 prize cards on the turn that you have 2 prize cards? The Kyogre. But unfortunately, it's in the prize cards, and our Heavy Ball's on the bottom of the deck. So that's unlucky. But if we find it, I think that is what Alberto's playing towards here. Is like, okay, I have my Pokestop left in my deck, so if I can just leave it as a Heavy Ball, then I can like Pokestop into the Heavy Ball to get the Kyogre, which is fair. I don't think that's like a terrible reason to keep it. I definitely would play it. And actually on that last turn, I think, like I said, I would have benched the Kyogre as well. Quick Balls and Vacuum. Yeah, like almost no cards left in the deck here for Alberto. So this would be I'm not gonna lie, this is actually just like a perfect turn to bench. This is like a perfect turn to bench Kyogre and put an energy on it. Like, you're going into it to be the closer on the next turn. If Sen has a Marnie here, could mess things up. Triple Comfey in play now for Alberto. Gift for 1 from Sen. Could Sen have actually played more cards out of the last hand? Because could Sen have played more cards out of last hand to actually have drawn more? There's no Marnie in the hand here for Sen, so I think Alberto's going to still pretty cleanly be able to get this dub. I think Alberto's going to be pretty. I think Alberto's going to be able to pretty cleanly get this dub here on this next turn, to be honest. Should be able to get into the heavy ball. There's no Marnie, like I said, so we'll get the heavy ball, and then has double Ordinary Rod plus Recycler left. So pretty easy dub coming up from Alberto on this next turn. Should be no problem. Sen's going to think things through. The only play I see for Sen... Actually, no, I don't see any play for Sen. I take it back. Actually, there is one play I see for Sen, but it probably shouldn't work. I could possibly see if you caped one of your bench Regis and then scoop up netted your other 2 Regis. No, that never works. That never works. There's no play. There's no play. Wait. No. Yeah. No, you actually don't even need a cape. If Sen can actually scoop up net the Regi Steel and the Regi Rock... that could make things awkward enough where Alberto maybe can't win. And Sen sees the play. Okay, this could actually get cool. This could actually get cool. They did find it. They did find the other scoop of net. Okay, this is going to get interesting. The one problem with this play, though, is Alberto can potentially just go back into another Dragonite, and then the Dragonite just takes 2 more knockouts, and the game's just over. And Sen has so many prize cards left to take that, yeah, Sen has so many prize cards left to take that Alberto could even KO like 2 of their own Pokemon and still be fine. But yeah, I think Alberto can just go set up another. Yeah, Alberto didn't see this coming, but Alberto can just go set up another Dragonite here. I think it should be no problem. Has the Quick Ball in hand, has the Water in hand, just needs an Ordinary Rod. Yeah, just needs an Ordinary Rod. Shouldn't be a big deal here at all for Alberto, to be honest. I think Alberto's got this covered. I can't tell how much damage is on the bench Pokemon, though, to be honest. I'm not sure. There's some, I just don't know how much. To be honest, it was possible Alberto could have used Kyogre last turn with Dragonite on the bench set up. But then I guess you risk like your Dragonite getting Gust KO'd, so it's probably correct to just attack with Dragonite while you could. Yeah, Alberto should have it here, though, I think. I think Alberto's got this one. Should be able to set up the Dragonite again without KOing too many Pokemon. Because I think Alberto has a net and a switch card. Well, they did actually... Alberto did use a switch card last turn, which I thought was maybe a little bit sus, and maybe should have used an escape rope instead. There's a Quick Ball. Is eyeing up the Raikou, actually. Okay, I don't hate that. You're not going to spread the damage onto your bench Pokemon. So you could go with Raikou here, and then still get the Dragonite for the following turn. So you could still maybe use the Dragonite on the following turn. Because I think, yeah, we have at least 2 Mirage Gates left here for Alberto. I don't know how many Quick Ball Alberto has left, though. This could be Alberto's last... Also, the Raikou can't KO Regigigas. I hate the dice on the stream, to be honest, because I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell what has how much HP left. Because I think maybe Dragonite works here just fine with the one scoop of net that Alberto has in hand. But I can't tell because I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell because I can't see these dice. Some of them, like the Manaphy, I think has 6. But I think Alberto actually could have set up. I think Alberto could have set up. Could have like net reset the Manaphy and then actually just attacked with Dragonite and won the game. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Thinking about using Comfey, 5 cards left in deck. Needs to get the Ordinary Rod, but not the Dragonite, I think, here as Alberto. Could also just wait and then try and use the Comfeys next turn, I guess. There's an Escape Rope. Regidrago sent up here from Sen. And Raikou can't Fleet-Footed. It would have been nice, though. And Raikou here will get the knockout on this, but Raikou actually can't KO Gigas, which is, like, awkward. But I don't think that would prevent Alberto from being able to win the game. Could have vacuumed the Path to the Peak potentially there, but I don't actually know how many paths are left for... I don't know how many paths are left for Sen, so maybe it's just not worth doing it now, and you might want to vacuum next turn plus combo that with Greninja. But a Marnie here I think would hit pretty hard, to be honest. Yeah, a Marnie here could hit pretty hard. Well, does it hit that hard, though? Because you don't even want to KO in this Raikou. No, if you could Marnie plus KO the Raikou, but I don't know how many Regis Sen has left. There's a couple rocks, but you need a lot of everything else. There's a Quick Ball in the hand. I don't see a Marnie, though. I don't see a Marnie here for Sen. Just swinging. Okay. Well, Alberto, like I said, can't KO the Gigas, but might be able to just pull off the Dragonite play instead. And I think has the net in hand, and if they, as long as they have a Mirage Gate, they should be good. It's just going to go with the punch, though, so I assume still has the game in hand anyways. But could get Marnied here. You could still get Marnied here as Alberto. One thing Alberto could have done, well, yeah, because I think Sen is out of nets. Alberto could have set up, I think, maybe the Greninja and just had that sitting there waiting to snipe the Gigas once the Raikou gets knocked out. But if Sen can go Marnie plus fill the bench, no, it doesn't even need to fill the bench. If Sen just has Marnie, it could get weird for Alberto, maybe. So I don't love the way Alberto played out this. I think Alberto should have been able to set up an attacker that would be able to close out the game here, because I'm pretty sure Sen is down 4 scoop up net. So Alberto knows that as long as you have a way to KO the Gigas, you're chilling. Looks like Sen's trying to figure it out if they can set up a new attacker here. The Marnie's in the deck. There's 2 Marnie in the deck. Can we get to the Marnie, though, is the question. All right. And Sen started to play super fast, too. There's only 20 minutes left as well, and we're still in this first game. There might not be enough time for a second game, to be honest. Goes for the Drago. I think Sen knows Marnie is the answer here. And I don't think Alberto thought about Marnie enough on their previous turn. So I think it's possible that the Marnie could make a difference here. If Sen can find it. Goes with a second Lecky there. Goes with second Lecky, second Ice. I mean, I guess it's fine. You already had a Lecky and an Ice in the deck, though, I think. I almost feel like Sen maybe should have just gotten one of them. Because drawing the Marnie is the most important part. Like, drawing the Marnie is, if it's even possible, to be honest. I'm looking at the hand here for Sen. I think Sen can draw 1 card. I think Sen can draw a single card. Let's see, Aurora. Oh, no, just going with the Serena. Okay, so Marnie's not even a possibility here for Sen. I feel like you have to know as Sen, though. If you don't Marnie this turn, you lose the game. I feel like Sen has to know that. Maybe there was a scoop up net left in the deck and could have reset the Gigas. I don't know. We'll see. Kofi goes up, and this should be game now for sure. I'm like 100% certain this is game. So actually, this is actually a very interesting situation here for Alberto. So I'm gonna see how Alberto plays it out, and then I'm gonna talk about it after that. So there's 17 minutes left in game. It's very important to know how much time is left in the game. Here we go. Alberto plays Ordinary Rod, gets Psychic, just puts the Psychic back, benches a Sableye, plays the Mirage Gate, puts it on the, what's it called, net. Okay, so let's talk about this right here. Okay, there's 17 minutes left in the game, which means at this point they're never finishing 3 games. So there's only 2 outcomes of this match. And I've heard people have different opinions on this, but this is how I would approach this situation as Alberto. There's 17 minutes left in this game. And I'm not saying you should slow play. I'm not telling anyone to slow play. But listen, Sen should know they're screwed here. Sen should know that they can't win this game, right? So it's on Sen to concede this match. But as Alberto, there's nothing forcing you to actually play out your actions as efficiently as possible. If I was Alberto here, I would play my Vacuum. I would use Greninja. I would use as many Comfeys as possible. I would use my Recycler. I would use my Ordinary Rod. And at the end of it all, I would show Sen I have game with the Sableye. But I wouldn't do any of that until I exhausted every other possible action I could possibly exhaust before the only action that I could possibly do left would be winning the game. Because there's only 18 minutes left in the game. Why would I ever, in a matchup where game 3 is never finishing, and who knows if game 2 will finish, but if game 2 does finish and I win, I win. But if game 2 finishes and Sen wins, we tie. I don't want game 2 to finish. So you should never, like in this situation, Alberto should go through as many actions as possible. Took Heavy Ball off Colress, should play Heavy Ball. Should put the Pokestop in play. Should use the Vacuum. Should use Comfey if possible. Use the Recycler. Use the Ordinary Rod. Bench the Sableye. And then play the Gate after you've exhausted every other possible action. And it's on Sen to recognize, oh shit, this man is just burning the clock. I should concede. And then that's where you just concede as Sen. But you put it on Sen. It's the correct play for Alberto. It's optimal for Alberto to use as many actions as possible. I'm not saying to slow play. I'm not saying sit there and look at your hand for 30 seconds. I'm not saying to sit there at your hand for 30 seconds and then do an action, and then sit and look at your hands for 30 seconds, and then do an action, and then look at your hand for 30 seconds, and then do an action. But you can just do all those actions. And I've done that so many times with Lost Box, because Lost Box, usually when you're about to win game 1, you're like 40 minutes into the round. So you're just like, all right, I'm just going to go through all my actions. Like I had a game, I did this with, this was a funny one. At Baltimore, when I played Mewtwo v Union, I played up against an Arceus Duraludon player, and I had game on board. No, I played up against a Mew player, and I had game on board. All I had to do was attack with Mew, because I was doing 300 damage, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna start to play other cards. And it was like, it took them a second, and they're like, what's going on here? And then they realized, and they're like, okay, actually, I'll concede. Let's go to game. I don't know if we went to game 2 or game 3 at that point, but I was like, I want this game to take as long as possible, so I'm gonna go ahead and just go through all my actions here. Like up to that point, I was attacking with Mewtwo. I was like 2 turns in a row. I was like attack with Mewtwo, and then 2 prize cards. And then I went, okay, draw a pass, because I had a path on them. And then I went attack with Mewtwo, draw 2 prize cards. Like, okay, draw a pass. And then after that, I was like, okay, play Silene, play Quick Ball, play Trekking Shoes, attach energy. Once I knew I wasn't scared of anything. But yeah, that's like optimal play from the optimal play there from Alberto would be to actually do as many actions as possible. Like there's no advantage for Alberto to have this game end as soon as possible. So you may as well take the extra actions when you have them. All right, let's see. Going to game 2. It would take quite a bit for send. Ooh, okay, that's actually something though. Pepper actually did the opposite against me. I had 0 cards in deck. She played out her entire turn without realizing, and then we ended up tying. Well, no, that might actually be... Wait, in what scenario is that? I mean, I'd actually have to see the scenario of the game. Alberto lost zone from Colress? No, because, yeah, there's only 3 cards left in the deck. Oh, someone else in chat already got that. You appreciate the Prime sub there, Cam Yang. Okay, so actually, if Sen is going to win this game in an aggressive manner, Alberto opening up the Luminion is pretty good for Sen. Also, the Dragonite's prize for Alberto. Alberto does play the heavy ball, but we know, because of as of last game, Alberto might play the heavy ball, but doesn't like playing heavy ball. So even if they find it, who knows if they'll actually play it to find the Dragonite. We'll have to find out if Alberto finds a heavy ball. But also, Luminion can KO Regigigas. And now we see Sen be a little bit more aggressive. Well, actually, no. It didn't change from last game. Sen couldn't draw any cards this turn. Turn 1 path's pretty good is what I mean to say. The opening hand actually here from Alberto is not very good, though. Has a quick ball and a heavy ball. So you're really hoping that you have like a comfy prize here with the heavy ball, to be honest. When you look at a hand like this as Lost Box, you're like, well, I hope comfy's prized. Because, yeah. Comfy's good. And this is actually kind of going to show off the power of like a turn 1 path, especially in this matchup against Alberto specifically, because Alberto also plays the Luminion. This game, Alberto opened the Luminion. But... yeah, path pretty good. Stops the Luminion potentially, and also stops and slows down Greninja, which would be a great take here from Alberto. Would be to go get the Greninja. It'd be great if Alberto could go get Greninja here and use it to draw some cards. But turn 1 path's going to end up being pretty good here. So Luminion can KO the bad Lecky and go back to the deck, but we're not going to have that happen turn 1 here. I think for Alberto, Alberto's in a pretty bad spot. I'm sure Alberto was pretty disappointed to find out that there was no good Pokemon prized, and here is he. Does actually play the heavy ball and does get the Dragonite here. Gets the Dragonite, but not much else to cook with. So yeah, Alberto's not going to have a great turn 1 unless this flower selecting is pretty crazy. And I think Sen does have, I'm pretty sure Sen does have a research in hand and is already pretty close to being able to attack with the Lecky. So I was saying initially, this one seems like it might be tough for Sen to actually be able to close out a game in 20 minutes. Well, it wasn't even 20 minutes. Like when they started this game, they had like 16 minutes. But now it's actually not looking too bad for Sen, and it's possible to just for Alberto just to give themselves a chance here. If Sen actually attacks next turn, on turn 2, if I was Alberto, I would just concede and go to game 3. It probably won't finish because you'll have like 10 minutes by the time that happens. It probably won't finish because you'll have like 10 minutes by the time that happens, but it at least gives Alberto a chance to win game 3. It does give Sen a chance as well, but I'm sure neither of these players want to tie here. So you want to do what you think gives you the best chance to win a game when that is your goal. And I'm pretty sure the goal here for Sen is definitely to win a game. But it does look like, or for Alberto and Sen, but it does look like Sen actually whiffed the attack. Did not draw very much actually off that. Can't even retreat to the Drago to draw new cards. It does have the gift energy on the active. I'd probably burn the cape here if I was Sen to be able to draw that +1 card. Did Alberto always play the heavy ball before the quick ball? No, because if nothing's prized, then you might want to save the heavy ball for more quick ball fodder. Like, you're always playing the quick ball there in that scenario as Alberto. Even if, well, if you heavy ball into a Comfey and then Comfey into a Comfey, then you could quick ball for something else. I guess there is an argument for that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'd have to like look at the scenario and think about it a little bit harder, Fred. But my brain, I can't consume that much energy right now to like think back on that. It's actually an interesting spot because Alberto's hand is dead, but so is Sen's. Actually, no, Alberto's got. I didn't think Alberto had anything else to work with. Actually, Alberto has another Comfey cooking here. Yeah, I thought. Actually, it's interesting. Alberto doesn't know this. Alberto doesn't know this, but Alberto shouldn't play escape rope here. I don't think it would be definitely incorrect for Alberto to play escape rope here. But Alberto could make the call. Okay, escape rope. They're gonna go into the Regidrago if I do this. If their hand is dead, and that's what Sen should do here is go into Regidrago. So you have another one, so if it dies, you have it back up. And it is currently, like if you top like an Ultra Ball or a Quick Ball or an Aurora Energy, you can actually use Regidrago to draw cards. So this, I don't know why this is such a big debate here for Sen. It should always be the, okay, it should always be the Regidrago. It's also like important to talk about for on Sen's side of things. Alberto doesn't care if this game doesn't finish. Sen really cares if this game finishes or doesn't finish. So Sen should be playing, and I talk about this, I've been talking about this a lot when I've been watching these regionals. I talked about this a lot during these regional broadcasts about like how you want to proper time management. Like one of the main reasons that the best players are consistently the best players is not just their play and their deck choice, but how they manage a best 2 out of 3. Even if it means you make misplays, it's better to be more time efficient as Sen than to be right in the correct. Like it's better to be time efficient than make the correct play here as Sen. Ooh, Alberto gives up the Kyogre, but it's for a Colress. That's a pretty big deal. Especially when you want to get this Luminion off the board ASAP. I'm sure Alberto's trying to get to the 7 and then get this Luminion back into the deck as soon as possible. Especially if you can get the KO on the Lucky. I guess that's probably not happening anymore to get the KO on the Lucky. But you just want to get this Luminion back in the deck so there's just not a 2 prize Pokemon sitting on your bench for the rest of the game. But yeah, Sen shouldn't overthink anything in the situation or trying to avoid overthinking as much as possible because of how little time is left right now. In the match. Sen should be trying to play as efficiently as possible, as time efficiently as possible, as opposed to as perfectly as possible. And there's the Aurora top deck. So we should see, boom, throw down Aurora onto the Drago, get rid of Drago, Ordinary Rod your Drago back to the deck, and then draw some cards. But Sen is taking so much time with every single... This is like agonizing to watch, I'm not going to lie. It's every single action is taking so long. I guess that's fine. No. If you get a research here, then you're going to discard the Drago with a Drago in your active that then gets KO'd. It's actually incorrect to get rid of the Lucky there. But once again, as long as Sen is making actions, I'm happy with that. I just want to see Sen making actions. Don't overthink anything. Make actions. It is incorrect to get rid of the Lucky. You should put the Drago back in the deck, not the Lucky. Because if you draw into a research here and then your Drago gets KO'd, you instead of having a... And there's the research. Everything that I'm saying is just happening. There's the research, and now your Drago's in the discard pile instead of in the deck, and your Drago's probably what's getting KO'd here as well. Unless you go with the net, though, actually. So Sen goes with the net. Oh, and actually, I do like the Lucky attack here because there's no mana fee. So the net's good. The net's good. I didn't see the net in the hand initially. I was blinded by the research. So now it's a little bit less bad that there's not a Drago. Actually, now it works out that there's a Lucky in the active, to be honest. Maybe that's what Sen was thinking about the whole time, though. And maybe Sen was like, the only way I win this, I want to put as much pressure on as possible. So I want to play really heavily for the Lucky attack here. So I'm going to put the Lucky back in the deck, which would be reasonable to actually put the Lucky back then instead. And in that situation, actually, I'm just wrong. Yeah, and in that situation, then I'm just wrong, to be honest. But yeah, goes with the Lucky. It works out. Got the Lucky now. Lucky swinging. No mana fee on the bench. So looking okay here for Sen. It's gonna do the punch here. Knockout. Probably see. I don't actually know where you put these 40s, to be honest. Ends up with 40 on Comfey. I don't know if I don't know. There's so many net left for Alberto. I maybe would just punch the Luminion because I guess it could get weird and the damage could stack up on a Luminion enough to the point where you could like instead of Gus KO Luminion, you could have like bad lucky KO Luminion. So, ooh, the hand once again sucks for Alberto. Comfey for 2. Definitely is probably just looking for a Colress. And I don't think there's a Colress there if it's taking this long for Alberto to decide what to take. Yeah, no Colress there. Almost certainly. Get rid of water, keeps the water. Oh, no. Definitely needs to, like... This is so awkward for Alberto. Because if you leave the Comfey in the active, That's all of your draw support. I think I would concede here as Alberto this turn right now. Concede. Actually, I don't know. Well, I don't. I actually think I would concede because I actually think it's pretty reasonable for Sen to draw 6 prize cards when you have two prize Pokemon on your board like this. I don't even know what Alberto does here because if you don't keep the Comfey, you don't have any dig. You don't get to 7 in the Lost Zone. It's also actually I think Alberto misplayed there. Alberto probably should have ordinary rotted Comfey back to the deck before using Comfey. Maybe just the Comfey to increase the chances of seeing a Comfey because you have double switch card in hand, so then you could switch card into Comfey and then use Comfey and then use Mirage Gate a little bit more likely. So I think actually you should have, because there's 2 rods in Alberto's hand. They should have rotted 1 Comfey back, and even at the end of this turn right here, they should have still rotted a Comfey back, so they increase their odds of top decking Comfey. That's a lot of Comfey. All right, Sen's on it, making actions. There we go. Gust up that Luminion right now. That's the play. Boom. There we go. Love to see it. Couldn't get the Luminion out of play. Actually, that's one of the reasons maybe Sen shouldn't have attacked with bad. Actually, I take that back. I think attacking with Lecky from Sen last turn was bad because that gave a target for Alberto's Luminion to actually get it out of play and take a knockout. I mean, Alberto just wants to get the Luminion out of play, but if you're going to take a knockout with it, it makes it that much sweeter, right? Or that much better. So actually, the Lecky attack on the previous turn wasn't that good, to be honest. I still think attacking with Drago was probably better. And then look for the Lecky attack once you have the Gust knockout, which we do have here. And it knocks out the Comfey as well, which is pretty sick, actually. Actually, that does make it kind of worth because we had the setup of the... But it did... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to overthink that one too much. All right, draw from Alberto, dead hand. Yeah, there's the concede finally. So they got 5 minutes left. We got 5 minutes left in this one. Pretty unlikely that either player will be able to walk away with a win here. I almost want to see, and I think that's what we are seeing here, Alberto choose to go second. And I think Alberto did choose to go second here. Just try and get aggressive and win off the rip. And then if you whiff it, I mean, you can always just like set up 6 1-prize Pokemon and hope that Sen can't draw 6 prize cards in enough time. And I doubt either player, unless one of them bricked, would be able to draw enough prize cards in enough time here. I wonder what this card is that Sen's agonizing over it. I think Sen maybe should have attached a speed lighting first as well before these Strike and Shoes, to be honest. Oh, it was a quick ball. Oh, I like the quick ball take there, actually, to be honest. You need to set up. You got to be aggressive here. You need to find your Regis. I guess in the same... I don't know. It's not going to happen. There's no way this one ends in time. Like, there's no way there's enough time for this one to end. As long as, like, Alberto has a reasonable start and, like, doesn't have Greninja pass. Long AF game 1, brick game 2, tie, so sad. Rip Alberto the God. Yo, the heavy ball in the opening hand. Let's get it. Yo, maybe Alberto just goes with like a turn 1 Kyogre and just tries to like hit the nuts off the rip. I would like to see it. And when you're in this kind of situation, as long as Alberto like is keeping track of time and time remaining, then you know what? Screw it. Let's just go with a turn 1 Kyogre here as Alberto, from Alberto. Being up a Battle VIP pass, probably gonna get double Comfey, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Alberto go with the just go with turn 1 Kyogre, knock out a couple Pokemon. It doesn't really matter here though. I don't think they got 2 minutes left. I might just go ahead and skip ahead in this one. I'm almost positive this ends up in a tie. Let's go ahead and just skip ahead to right here and let's see if there was any hope for either player. They have 1 minute left. 11 seconds left. 0. Neither player has drawn a prize card yet. It looks like actually Alberto had a pretty bad turn 1. And then 3, 2, 1. And yeah, that'll be time. So both players tie. Turn 0, 1, 2, 3. All right. So tie here in round 12.